Find a position in which you would like to begin your practice for meditation. Perhaps you're lying down onto your back with your knees bent and your feet on the ground. Maybe a blanket underneath your head to be comfortable. Or you could choose to be seated upright on a chair, a cushion, a block, or blanket. If it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And just drop your awareness within. The poem that I'll read this evening is Whatever Doesn't Serve by Donna Falls. What weight can you put down right now, willingly relinquishing the pointed quills of guilt or judgment? What burden of the heart can lift? What dark corner can be lit? The candle flickering at first, then burning bright. With the next breath, let it go. That old story you've told yourself a million times. Whatever doesn't serve you on this path of truth, leave it behind. Offer this one gift, a simple sacrifice that in the giving sets you free to fully live. As you drop into your body, letting go of the day that has come thus far, also letting go of any future moments. Just arriving in the present time in your body with intention to be aware and to feel what you feel. So perhaps scanning your body, noticing how does your body feel? Does it feel heavy or light? Tired or energized? Tense or relaxed? Knowing that there's no right or wrong to feeling. Just feeling what you feel. Notice the quality of your mind. The mind feels quiet, or if there's racing or ruminating thoughts. And also touch in with the tone of your heart. What emotions rest in the heart? Fear or hope? Trust or anxiety? Gratitude or worry? Just notice what you feel. It's as if you're giving space to allow what is to simply be, holding it all with loving awareness. Settle into your pelvis. Let your pelvis be heavy and grounded, whether it be the two sitting bones or the back of the pelvis. And feel how your legs or feet merge with the ground. The spine lengthens out of the pelvic bowl towards the crown of the head. The collarbones are wide. Roof of the mouth is spacious. The base of the skull is wide. Feel your breathing body. Feeling your inhaling breath and your exhaling breath. See if you can breathe in and out through the nose, effortlessly and naturally. And feel as you exhale the possibility that the chest softens downward. The lower belly draws slightly inward. Followed by the gentle expansion of the natural inhale. The exhale's a letting go. Ribs drop down, the old air passes out. At first, you might just feel the breath as it moves gently in the chest and belly, in the front body. Over time, you might feel the feeling tone of breath also in your side body. From the armpits down to the sideways. And perhaps you feel the breath being received in the back body as well. In fact, there's no place left out from the breath. You might feel your arm bones have a movement with the breath. The thigh bones have a movement with the breath. Sometimes it's hard to perceive. Over time, you can wake up deeper levels of feeling and perceiving, and you might discover that every bone and every tissue in the body can be set to motion with natural breathing. No need to strain, just feeling the breath. And if your mind wanders, to drift off to stories and thoughts and images, just come right back. Your body is always in present time. The breath is always in present time. Even the sounds you hear in the background can help ground you in the present moment. Gradually, allowing the eyes to open. And if you're seated, take your time to roll onto your back. Bend your knees so the feet are on the ground in constructive rest position. Arms can rest by your sides. And as you let the head be heavy, the pelvis be heavy, and the feet ground down, turn your awareness to your spine. The spine begins at the base of the skull and flows down between the shoulder blades, down into the lower back, and connects with the pelvis. So begin to arch the lower back, just contracting the back body. And as you arch the lower back, the shoulders will press towards the floor, and the pubic bone will move between the legs. Then slowly relax out of that arching of the spine position, returning to neutral. And then contract the abdominal muscles. Pull without, you don't have to draw the navel into the spine. You're just drawing your pubic bone to your belly, which is going to flatten the lower back. And then the shoulders move away from the floor. And maybe your chin lifts a little bit, just depending on what feels comfortable. And then relax that pattern, roll the tail out and just feel what you feel. We'll be doing that alternating between arching the lumbar spine and flattening the lumbar spine. So arching the lower back, the pubic bone pulls between the legs, the shoulders press down to the floor, the chin might move towards the chest. The arms might even slightly roll out a little bit. And then releasing the arch of the lower back, letting the arms and neck relax. And pressing the lower back flat into the ground, tucking the tail towards the ceiling. The chin might slightly lift. The arms may slightly roll in. And then slowly unwind and release that pattern. Tail rolls out onto the ground, returning to a neutral spine. The shoulders relax, the neck returns to neutral. And arching the lower back. Arching the lower back, the shoulders press down, the arms roll out. Maybe even the thighs open slightly as the chin draws down. Slowly release the pattern. The spine returns to neutral, the arms return to neutral, the thighs even might move to the midline slightly. And the lower back flattens, maybe the thighs come a little closer together, the shoulders lift, the arms might roll in, the chin might lift a little bit. And then releasing that pattern. Let's go through that series one more time. So you're arching your lower back. Arms are rolling out, shoulders are pressing down, chin might slightly drop. Feel the back body contracting. And then releasing the pattern in the lower back, releasing the shoulders into a relaxed place. The head returns to neutral. And flattening the lower back, tucking the tail, drawing the shoulders in. Maybe the chin lifts just a tad. And then relaxing. And just feeling what that feels like. Now, roll over to one side so that you can see the screen. You could put an arm underneath your head or a blanket. Bring your knees to about 90 degrees and your shins to about 90 degrees of the knees. So you're lying on the side body. From here, keep your feet together and lift your knee up, but not so much that it tips your pelvis back behind you. Then drop your knee down. The knee lifts, the knee moves down. So it's the clamshell. The feet stay together. Lift the knee, bring the knee down. And one more time like that. Wonderful. Now, keep your thighs together, your knees together, and lift your shin and foot up off the ground. And place your foot and shin back down. Shin and foot lift up. Shin and foot place back down. And just go really slowly with your own pace. Just a couple more times. And then just relaxing. You might start to feel some sensation in the outer hip. If you need to kind of rub the outer hip, you can. We're waking up the gluteal muscles on the outer hip. Now we're going to combine those. So keep your feet together. Lift your knee up. Then place your knee down. Keep your knees and thighs together. Lift your foot and shin up. So then foot and shin come down. And the feet stay together, the knee and the thigh lift. So clamshell, and then knee stays down, foot and shin lift up. So we'll alternate between the external rotation of the clamshell and the internal rotation of the shin and foot lifting. One more time like that. And then just relaxing and feeling how that feels. You can roll onto your back to roll onto the other side, or you can move your head to the opposite direction that you are so you can still see the screen. It's up to you. Place your knees at hip height, bend your knees to 90. Have a blanket or your arm underneath your head for support. Keep your feet together and lift your knee up towards the ceiling and place it back down. So the clamshell lifting, feet together, knee lifts. We'll do this a few more times. Only lifting your knee up as high as it doesn't tilt your pelvis back behind you. So the trunk is staying neutral. Next time your knee comes down, pause. Keep your knee and thighs together, but lift your foot and shin up and lower back down. Up and lower back down. Slow and steady, just like this, shin and foot lifting up 2 more times. And then we're combining those two. So we start with the feet together, knee lifts into clamshell, knee lowers down, knee stays down, lift the foot and shin up, foot and shin lower down, knee lifts up. And then alternating, shin and foot go up, they go down, the knee goes up, the knee comes down. That's it. 2 more rounds like that. And last time. Press your hands into the ground. Press on up to hands and knees. Come on up to 4-point table. It's always good to do a little prep in the wrists. So just take your hands and turn your hands in all directions and experiment with the hands being closer to you and your hands being farther away from you. Depending on what weight the wrists can bear comfortably. You could also do this at the wall if you need to unweight the hands. You could also put your bum back towards your feet to unweight the hands and wrists a little bit more. Then once you've done the palm of the hand in every direction, turn the hand over so the back of the hand is going in each direction. Of course, within reason, because this part of the hand is often a little bit more sensitive. And then back to hands on the ground, 4-point table, knees under hips, Hands under shoulders. Of course, you could have a blanket underneath the knees if you wish. From here, hips, shoulders, and ears stay in one long line. See if you can keep your trunk stable. Lift your right knee and then take your right foot out to the side and gently place the foot on the floor. So the right leg is straight and the right leg is out to the side. Now, if it doesn't go straight to the side, it might be slightly back behind you like this. But we're just taking the right leg slightly out to the side, then lifting the right foot, bending the right knee, and bringing the knee back underneath you into tabletop. We'll do that on the other side. So lift the left knee, take the left knee out to the left, straighten the left leg, and slowly lowering the left foot onto the floor. Then lift the left foot, bend the knee, and bring the knee back underneath you. We're going to add a layer for those that want a greater challenge. Perhaps you've noticed we're not only waking up the mobility of the hip and the strength of the hips, but the strength of the core as well. Right knee lifts. Take the right knee out to the side. Straighten the right leg, and the right foot's on the floor. And then can you lift the right foot up and down 3 times? And then lift the foot, bend the knee, and bring it back. And if you can't lift the foot and leg up, you can just visualize it. And over time, maybe that will be possible. But it's okay if it's not today. It's a little bit more challenging. Lift the left knee. Take the left knee out to the side. Straighten the left leg. It's okay if it's not straight out from your trunk. It might be more towards the back of the mat and out to the side. And then if you want a greater challenge, push into the hands, keep the arms straight, and try to lift the left foot up off the ground 3 times, waking up the outer hip. Then lift, bend the knee, bring it back. Last time here, take the right knee out to the side, straighten the right leg out, bring the foot to the floor, and then now you'll slowly slide your hips back in space. And then slowly come forward. And you get to decide how far you come forward and how far you press your hips back. So it's almost like in the left leg, you're doing child's pose, but in the right leg's out to the side and it's stretching the hip, working with hip flexion, waking up the lateral line. And one more time like this. And when you come back to shoulders over wrists, lift your right foot, bend the knee, and bring it back underneath you. 4-point table. Last time here, left side. Take the left knee out to the side, straighten the left leg out to the side, and then press into your hands. Reach your hips back towards your heel. Your knee flexion might limit how far you can send your hips back. You're just coming forward and going back. Just another time. And next time you come to shoulders over wrists, lift your left leg, bend the knee, bring the leg back underneath you in 4-point table. Take your hands forward slightly, turn the toes under, and press back into downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, and reach the hips way back behind you. Take a full breath here. And end the exhale. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press the feet, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, stand centered, arms at your sides. Step wide towards the side of the mat. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Bring the hands to the hips. For sumo pose, exhale, squat down. Push into the feet and come back up. Exhale, squat down. Push into the feet and come back up. Let's do that a few more times. Feeling how the shins go forward and the bum goes back when you squat down. Two more times. And the next time you come up to straight legs, just pause there. Take an extra breath. We'll add a layer. Next time you squat down, straighten the left leg, bend the right knees. Keep your bum sticking behind you, but now your knee points towards the second toe still. And then straighten one leg and bend the other leg. And now slide back and forth, side to side, alternating between lengthening the inseam of the leg and the lateral line, back and forth. Two more times. Sumo side to side. The next time you pass through center, squat down to the center, push into the feet, straighten the legs, feet parallel, step the feet together, standing centered. Arms down at the sides, turn the palms out, reach the arms up. Keep the crown reaching up, bring the arms down by your sides. Do that again, palms turn up, arms reach up. Palms press down, crown reaches up. And again, arms reach. Palms press down, warming up the shoulders. And if you want to add a little strength to this, imagine you're pressing the arms through something to create some resistance and tension in the arms. Pressing up and against. And pressing down and against. Good, next time the arms go up, grab a hold of your right wrist and draw your right wrist over to the left, opening your side body, down the side waist. Be mindful you're not adding a back bend. And then come back up, grab a hold of the left wrist, and bend off to the right. Opening up the side body, down the side waist. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then coming back up, arms press down and come down by your sides. Now, take your right foot and step it behind you and cross it behind. So it's like crossing behind the left leg. So the right foot stepping behind and across. Reach the arms up, grab a hold of the right wrist, and lean off to the right. So essentially you're making a bigger arc from the right foot up through the right IT band and side waist to the right wrist. And then come back up and release the leg. So then the left leg steps behind and across. And if that feels too challenging with balance, of course, you don't have to do it. And take the left arm up, grab the wrist, And draw the arm to the side, opening up the side body. All the way down through the hip and to the left foot. And then come back up. Bring the arms down by your sides. Take your feet underneath you, stable and steady, standing center. Just take a breath and feel how that feels. Then to the top of the mat, standing centered for sun salutations. Inhale, reach up all the way. Exhale, fold all the way down. Look between the shins. Lengthen the spine forward. Inhale. Plant the hands, step back into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, grounding the hands, reaching the hips towards the wall behind you. And exhale, straight arm plank, knees are there if needed. Lower down to your belly. Point your toes, press the pubic bone down. Inhale, lift the head and chest where you could stay. Or pull forward and through, upward facing dog. Turn on the toes and press back into downward facing dog. And the exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press the feet, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, stand centered. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine lengthening. Back to down dog, all the way on back. Heels may lift, knees may bend. Press the hips way back, relax your neck. Look between the ankle bones, a few breaths here. Your exhale, straight arm plank. Knees are there if needed, or straight legs, heels pressing back. As you lower down, point your toes, press the pubic bone down. Inhale, cobra, or pull forward and through to upward dog. And exhale, all the way back to downward dog. And the exhale, walk the feet to the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press the feet, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, stand centered, arms by the sides. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Look between the shins, knees can bend. Inhale, long spine forward. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Each of the 10 toes, each of the 10 fingers, each have their relationship to the ground or rooting. Exhale, straight arm plank. Lowering down, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, all the way back to downward dog. And the exhale, bring the feet to the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press the feet, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, stand centered, arms by the sides. Fingertips together, feet hips width apart. A chair squat, exhale down. Push into the feet and come back up. Shins forward, bum goes back. 2 more times. And the next time you come into the chair squat, step the left foot way back, leave the back heel lifted, and come to hands at hips. Front of pelvis lifting, spine lifting, head held high. Exhale, bend your front knee. Feel the ground beneath the front foot, push down, inhale, come up. Exhale, bend down. Inhale, the vertical. Exhale, knee bends. Few more times like that. And the next time the front knee comes into the bend position, let's pause there. Pressing the knee forward and drawing the hips slightly back. Now bring hands to heart. You could stay here or reach the arms up overhead, perhaps arcing to look up to where the wall and ceiling meet. Breathing in, breathing out. Another breath right here. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Pour the weight forward and step up to the top, standing centered. Hands to the heart, a little chair squat. Step your right foot way back, hands to hips. Back heel lifts to lift the pelvis, to lift the spine. Exhale, front knee bends. Inhale, front leg straightens. Going up and down with your own breathing rhythm. It's okay if your rhythm isn't in sync with mine. As long as we're breathing and moving, unless of course you need to take a pause. And the next time the front knee comes to the bend position, let's pause there. Bring hands to heart. Or reach the arms all the way up overhead. Perhaps arcing to look up to where the wall and ceiling meet. As you're breathing in and breathing out. Another round of breath right here. And bring the hands down to the heart. Pour the weight forward and step up to the top. Now, if you think about how far you were able to step back, we're going to think about dividing that space into 4. It's approximate, but coming into the chair squat, shift your weight into the right foot and step your left foot back just a quarter of the distance. So it might be only maybe 4 inches or so. Push into the right foot, straighten the right leg. Then bend both knees. Step the left foot back to about the halfway mark. The back knee is going to stay bent. Front leg straightens. And then the knee bends. And step back a quarter of the distance more. Front leg straightens, back knee stays bent. Bend front knee. And pour your weight into the front foot to step the back foot back further, probably to the max place that feels stable and comfortable. Now, if you want a greater challenge, you'll bend both knees at the same time. If you feel like this is just where you want to stay and you want to stay with both legs straight and just park here for a few breaths, you can. Otherwise, both knees bent. Maybe the knee bends quite a bit, or maybe the knees bend a very small amount. It just depends on what feels accessible for you. But let's go up and down 3 more times if you can. Perhaps bending both knees when you go down and pushing very firm into the front foot to come back up. Now, next time the legs come into the straight place, bend your front knee and step the back foot just a quarter of the way forward. Front leg straightens. Then bend both knees and step the back foot to the halfway mark. Straighten up. Bend the front knee and step the back foot just a quarter of the way. Straighten back up. And the next little bend, you get to step right to the top. Let your arms hang at your sides. Let your breath sweep your mind. Feel how that feels, if the two legs feel the same. I know my right hip feels a little fatigued. Those muscles in the outer hip are waking up. Now, again, to the other side, hands at the heart, a little chair squat. Step your right foot just a quarter of the way back. Straighten up. Front knee bends. Right foot steps back to about the halfway mark. Front leg straightens. Bend the knees. Step the right foot back about a quarter of the distance. And the next time your left knee bends and you pour some weight into the left foot, see if you can step the right foot back to that distance that felt comfortable for you as kind of the widest place. It still feels stable. And you could just stay here with both legs straight because you know we have to go forward in a moment. Or if you want a greater challenge, bend both knees. And again, you can bend the knees just a very small amount, or you can bend the knees a little bit deeper. It's whatever feels accessible to you. And that might even change day to day depending on how your body is feeling. And again, the next time both legs straighten, pause. Bend front knee, pour your weight into the front foot, step the back foot about a quarter of the distance. Front leg straightens. Bend the front knee, step the back foot in about to the halfway mark. Straighten the leg. Bend the front knee, step the back foot in a tad bit more. Straighten up. Last time front knee bends a little bit. And step the back foot to the top. Arms hang down by the sides. Head is held high. Just feel how that feels. Now step wide to the side of the mat. Turn your toes in, heels out, hands to the hips. From the side view, your ears, shoulders, and hips are in one long line. Keep that line in the trunk, but tip the pelvis over just halfway. So we're coming into hip flexion. This will feel nice to stretch out the outer hips and the hamstrings. Now push into the feet. Use your legs to come back up. So we'll do this again. Tip the pelvis over, let the spine come halfway down. Push into the feet, come back up. Let's do that 2 more times. And the next time you come forward, bring the hands to the floor, or you could have hands on blocks if you wish. Turn the toes out and the heels in. So it's a little different. Toes are out, heels are in. Hands are on the ground about under the shoulders, and instead of rounding your spine, lift and lengthen your spine so the crown is reaching forward away from the tail. Now, bend your right knee towards your right second toe and straighten out the left leg. So it's like the side-to-side sumo pose we did, but we have our hands on the ground and our hips are in deeper flexion. Straighten out the right leg, bend the left knee. So it's also like you could think about it's a half squat. So go side to side really slow, bending one knee, the other leg straightens, and then the other side. A couple more times. Side to side. Half squat back and forth. Slow movement.
And then we'll finish off on the left side. Straighten the legs, turn your toes slightly in, walk your hands back so that they line up with your feet perhaps someday, fingers and toes pointing the same direction. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold and round your spine. Let the head hang down. Knees could be a little bent or push into the feet and stretch your thigh bones to the ceiling to straighten the legs a little straighter someday. Push into the hands and feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Hands to hips, push into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Look up if it feels comfortable. Exhale, look forward. Stretch the arms out to the side and step the feet together into the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way down. Look between the shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Plant the hands all the way back. Step into downward facing dog. Come down onto the knees. Feel free to put a blanket underneath the knees if you need support. Step your right foot forward. And as you step your right foot forward, bring your right hand to your right hip. Spin your chest to the right and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling if it feels comfortable. You can gaze straight forward or up towards the thumb. And to work opposites a little bit deeper into the outer hip, draw your right knee forward, but draw your right hip slightly back behind you. And exhale, bring your right hand down, step your right knee back, so you're back into table pose. Then step the left foot forward. It's just on the outside of the left hand. Bring your left hand to your hip. Spin your chest open to the left. Reach the left arm up to the ceiling if it feels comfortable. Either looking to the side, to the left, or spinning to look up towards the thumb. Feel how the left knee goes forward into the bend, but the left hip pulls back in opposition, which creates a more active stretch along the lateral line of the hip. And exhale, bring the left hand down, step the left foot back, press back into downward facing dog. All the way on back. And the exhale, come through to lie down onto your back. No blanket underneath the head, head flat on the ground if it feels comfortable for you. Arms resting at the sides. Take the feet so that your feet are actually going to come together and your thighs are going to open out to the side. So it's like you're in the supine bound angle pose, but we're not going to stay here long passively. So your feet are together, your hips are on the ground. And then slowly lift your knees up towards the ceiling and slowly lower your knees back down towards the floor. The knees will probably not touch the floor. So you're just going to be lifting your knees up and maybe they come together, probably not all the way together since your feet are together. And then slowly lowering the knees down, and just going really slow. Thighs are opening out to the sides and towards the floor. And then the thighs are drawing towards each other.
So if you go slowly, you might even start to feel your legs just quiver a little bit because you start to wake up new muscles in the legs and the hips. Now you could imagine going slower and imagining you're squeezing a ball between the legs when the legs are coming in, and then you're pushing out into some pressure when you push out. And so see if you can kind of feel that resistance that can come in. And then next time your knees come up, separate your feet to be as wide as your yoga mat. And with your feet as wide as your yoga mat, have your heels a little bit away from your bum and just drop your knees off to the right. And maybe they go just a tiny bit and your left hip stays close to the floor. Or maybe it feels comfortable to let the knees come down towards the floor. And then come back up to center and slowly go to the other side. Again, maybe the knees just go off to the side a slight bit, or maybe they come all the way down towards the floor. And just go slowly, side to side. One more time each side. Sorry if you can hear Lucy, she's snorting. She's lying on the couch, rolling in circles and digging. I don't know if she can't get comfortable in what she's doing. So I apologize, you probably can hear her in the background. So let's come back to center. Feet are gonna now be hips width apart, heels under knees. Push down into your feet. Flatten your lower back like we did in the beginning. The front body tones, but lift the pelvis, the lower back, the mid back up off the ground. Hold here in the hip bridge, breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you want a greater challenge, keep your hips high, but lift the balls of the feet up off the ground so the heels are digging into the mat. Heels are digging down into the mat. Balls of the feet are lifting up. Let's take a full breath here. And then balls of feet go to the ground. The mid back comes to the ground. The lower back comes to the ground. And the pelvis meets the earth. Taking a resting breath at the bottom, just see how that feels. We're going to do that again, potentially adding a layer for those that wish. Flatten the lower back, lift the pelvis, lift the lower back, lift the back ribs and the mid back up. Now you could stay right here in the classic bridge, or if you want a greater challenge, dig the heels down, lift the balls of the feet. And if you want a greater challenge yet, keep the hips lifted, but open your thighs out to the side, the feet spin out to the side, and then draw your thighs closer together. So again, you're taking the thighs wide and drawing the thighs back to midline. And because you're only on your heels, the feet can rotate in and out, which then allows the knees to not have a strain. If we did this with the feet down, it would not be so comfortable on the knees. So with the feet lifted in this way, the thighs roll and the knees roll along with the shins. And we get to wake up the outer lateral line in the glutes a few more times. And next time the knees come together, you can bring the feet down to the floor and slowly lower mid back, lower back, hips down to the ground. Take your feet wide as the mat. Walk the feet a little bit farther forward in front of you if you wish. Maybe you need to take your arms out to the sides a little bit and then drop the knees over to one side Again, you get to determine how far the knees should go. Many of us will just be taking the knees ever so slightly to the side, and some might be taking the knees all the way down to the floor. But there's a windshield wiper pattern happening in the legs, whether it's tiny or a little bit bigger. Releasing all of those muscles that were just working from a place of contraction. And then the next time your knees come to the ceiling, bring your feet to the floor and draw your right knee towards you and place your right hand on your right thigh or knee, like up near the knee but on the thigh. And press your hand and your knee into each other so that you can feel resistance. So can you feel that you can have your knee pushing into your hand at the same rate that the hand is pushing into the knee? Now let your knee win. So your knee comes closer to you, but your hand is still pushing into your knee to give it a little resistance. And now let your hand win. Push your knee away from you so the thigh moves away from you. The hand is winning, but the knee is still pushing. Do that one more time. Knee pushes into hand. And hand is pushing into the knee, but the knee is winning. And then let the hand win so the arm straightens back out. And then place the right foot on the ground. Right arm relaxes. And then lift your left foot off the ground. Bring your left knee in towards you, in towards the trunk. Place your left hand on your left knee or thigh. And press your hand and knee into each other so they're creating equal resistance. And notice what that feels like. And then let your knee win. So your knee is pressing in towards your chest, but your hand is pushing against it. But your knee is winning, so the thigh is coming closer in. Now let your hand win. Push your knee away from you, even though the knee is pressing a little bit into the hand. And do that one more time. The knee is winning, knees coming into the chest, the hand's giving resistance. And then the hand wins as you press the knee away. Then the foot comes on the floor. So remember that resistance pattern between hand and knee. Place your right ankle across your left knee. So your right knee is bent into the four square shape, or some people call this supine pigeon. Now, bring your hand on your inner thigh up nearest your knee. And so your right hand is on the right inner thigh nearest the knee. Now press your hand and your knee into each other and create equal resistance. So now we've just taken the thigh into an external rotation pattern. Now let your knee win, and your thigh is going to spiral. So your thigh is coming towards you and your knee is starting to look towards you. Your kneecap is coming towards you. Now let your hand win. You're going to press your thigh back into the four square shape, but your thigh is still pushing into your hand. Do that one more time. Knee wins. Thigh is trying to rotate in towards the midline, even though the hand is pushing against it. And then the hand and the arm wins, and you're pressing the leg into external rotation, but the knee is still pushing into the hand. And then relax the arm down by the side and just let your body stay in the four square shape, but just kind of rest that pattern for a minute. Now you could stay here in the four square shape or reach and grab a hold of the left hamstring. So you're interlacing your hands. If your head can't rest on the floor, please put a blanket underneath your head for support. So now the hands are interlaced over the back side of the left thigh. And feel how your left hand is, or pardon me, your hands are pulling your left thigh towards you, but your right thigh is spinning away from you, feeling the counterbalance there, and the stretch to the outer hip. Take a full breath here, and then exhale, releasing. Bring both feet to the floor and just outstretch both legs for a moment and just kind of feel what you feel right side, left side. Maybe one leg feels a little longer, or the hip or the leg feels more dropped into the ground. Just kind of scanning right side and left side. Bend the knees. Take the left leg up to the ceiling, bend the left knee, and bring the left ankle across the top of the right thigh nearest the knee. So the left leg is in a 4 square shape, or the supine pigeon pattern. Bring your left hand to your left inner thigh up nearest the knee. I don't like to push right on the knee. I like to be right on, like a little bit more on the thigh bone. And then press your knee and thigh into your hand and put a little resistance in it, but your thigh is able to spiral internally, kind of towards the midline. And then you're going to press with the hand, press into the thigh, but the thigh still presses into the hand, but the hand wins, and you press the leg back into that 4 square shape. Let's do that one more time. Knee wins as it presses into the hand, and you spin the leg towards the midline. And the hand wins, pushing into the thigh, and you press the leg back into the 4 square shape. So we're just creating some active range of motion in the hip socket. And relax the arm by the side. The leg will stay in the 4 square shape. And you could choose to stay right here, or interlace your hands on the right thigh, on the hamstring side. And feel here that you're using your hands to pull the right leg towards you, but just gently spin the left leg away from you. Both feet are flexed, breathing in and breathing out. This is a great stretch for the IT band and the outer hip. And another breath here. Releasing the legs down to the ground. Outstretch and just feel what that feels like. And then bringing the feet to the floor. And drawing the hands around your torso. So your feet are on the ground, and it's like you're hugging yourself. So you're not bringing your hands to the tops of the shoulders. You're hugging your arms around your trunk, so that it's almost like each hand is holding a shoulder blade. Now elbows kind of move to the ceiling. You're going to draw your shoulder girdle to the right, so you're rolling onto the right shoulder and lifting the left shoulder and the left rib cage up off the floor. So it's like a little tiny twist in the upper back. Then roll the left rib cage down, the left shoulder rolls down, and then draw the right shoulder away from the ground, the right rib cage. Sometimes you have to get your fingers a little bit out of the way as you roll onto the left shoulder. And it's a small twist, but you're just going to go back and forth. It's great for unwinding the spine between the shoulder blades and the rib cage, but you might even feel the benefit all the way down to the back. So you're just going to keep rolling. Your head can roll to one side as you roll your rib cage and your arms off to one side. And one more time like this. And then notice when you come back to center, which arm is on top. And just switch so the other arm comes on top. So again, you're holding kind of underneath your armpits towards the back body, just as far as you can comfortably reach. You might have to be holding the upper arms if you can't reach all the way around. And the hips are primarily staying on the floor. The knees are bent, feet on the ground. And then again, just slightly roll over to the right, pulling the left shoulder and the left rib cage up off the floor. Then roll onto the back and roll to the other side. And just go slowly side to side. And your gaze, your skull can roll to the side that you're rolling to. It's like you're just kind of peeling off one side of the rib cage away from the floor, feeling how that stretches all the way down the back and side body. And just a couple more times. And next time you roll off to the left, it'll be the last roll. Bring your arms down by your sides and just feel what that feels like in your body. Maybe the back body rests against the floor more fully. I often feel that my back body feels a little broader after that exercise. Just to even out symmetry, draw the knees into the chest, open the knees out towards the armpits. Draw the knees to the armpits and spin the pelvis down to the ground, or roll the tail towards the ground as the knees draw in. So it's like, again, you're doing opposites, but here neither wins. There's just a little resistance, knees drawing in and hips rolling down. And then exhale, release the feet on the ground. So take a moment to gather what you need for Shavasana, for relaxation pose. So this is a great time to cover up with something warm. Maybe you want to put on socks or a long sleeve shirt. As you lie down onto your back, you may want to have a blanket, a folded towel, or even a flat pillow. You don't want your head lifted too high. You want your neck in line with the rest of the spine. You could potentially have the knees bent, feet on the ground if you need added support for your low back, or slide a pillow, bolster, or rolled up towel under the knees. It's also okay for the legs to just be outstretched. But just take this next minute to gather what you need to be comfortable for relaxation pose. And just take a moment as you lie down to scan your body with your awareness and just feel what you feel. Feel the back of the head heavy, the shoulders resting back, the arms effortless, the pelvis heavy, the heels heavy. The muscles of the body can let go of their grip and soften. And just feel the gentle wind of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Feeling the breath rise and fall in the abdomen, yet trusting that your body knows how to breathe. Just simply resting and relaxing, integrating your practice, and letting your body know stillness, no effort. Feeling your inhaling breath. Feeling your exhaling breath. Feeling your body breathing. Allowing your awareness to spread through the body and also to expand, to sense into the space and the room that you're within. Maybe it feels comfortable to move your head side to side. Perhaps you need to stretch out through your hands and legs. And then bending the knees and drawing the knees to the chest and rolling to the side that feels comfortable. Pressing into the floor and pressing to seated, sitting on a chair, bench, bolster, block, a blanket. Something that allows you to be upright and grounded. Feeling your pelvis settle down into the earth. Sitting bones making indents into the ground. And just notice the quality of your body, the quality of your mind, the quality of your heart. Notice the effects of your practice. Enjoy the palms together. We'll close chanting if you wish. You can call and response. I'll leave a little gap. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly and opportunity is lost. Let us awaken. Awaken. Do not squander your life. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe and free from danger. May all beings be free from their ancient and twisted karma. May all beings be free from every form of suffering. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for practice. It's been lovely to practice with you.